do we just jump right in with Leafs, or is there anything you want to talk about or BS about first? Because I can't imagine you could be any happier than 2 home 6-1 losses in games 5 and 7.
I actually have gone back and forth. I mean, just like it's incredible the Wild stick to the bit, go up 2-1, losing 6. Toronto loves the bit of, I mean, you can even just scrap the first 4 games of the series. Either, whatever, at some point they're in command of a series, maybe it's 3-1, or whatever it is. And then there's like one pivotal game, that game 5 happens, where they literally look like an ECHL team. And then everyone writes them off. But now we all know that they love to stick to the script. They love the bit where they play great, avoid elimination in game 6. And then on the biggest stage humanly possible, they lose in just outrageous fashion. It was legitimately pathetic last night. Like, I don't understand. It's been 7, 8 years of this shit where it's the same exact thing in the biggest games, the biggest elimination games. How are you not ready to go? Like, it is at through the first, what was it, 6 minutes of that hockey game, the shot attempts were 21-0 Florida. Between the first and second period, the Toronto Maple Leafs played the worst 40 minutes of hockey of the entire season. All teams, regular season and playoffs. As far as shot attempts given up. No team gave up as many shot attempts as they did through 40 minutes. It was 75. That's insane. And there's just, it is unbelievable to me that, like, you could sit here like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, we could have said, hey, they're going to play the Panthers in the second round. They're going to lose in 7. And despite the history in my head, I would have been like, oh, well, you know what? Like, the Panthers might be the best team in the league. We know how they play. Like, it's not really like if you lose in 7, it's not like going to be like, it's not crazy. But it's the way that they do it. It's every fucking year. And I just, like, it was unbelievable to watch. And I mean, the quotes afterwards, like, at least he's telling the truth. But, like, the fact that Matthews comes out and says, like, they were hungrier than us, how is that humanly possible? How is that humanly possible?
No. Z, the fact that he, the captain of the team, who I don't care if he's injured or not, like, he didn't deliver. He comes out and says there were too many passengers? Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, here's the thing. He's not even wrong.
No, like, but how can you? It's crazy. Like it's like Mitchie boy saying "wake the fuck up" to everybody when it's like, bro, are you awake? Do you have a pulse? Like, there's something to be said for just taking accountability. Like, people would be so much more forgiving if you were just like, you know what? Like, I wasn't good enough. Like, it's very. This is going to be maybe too mean, and you're probably going to love it way too much, but the big dogs for the Toronto Maple Leafs, their post-game pressers sound like they're basketball players.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, that's been the story with them their entire NHL career. Like, Matthews has had whatever times where he said the right thing. And I mean, at the end of the day, you're not, I mean, Toronto fans are like mad up. They're like, fuck it, trade everyone, whatever. But Matthews isn't going anywhere, obviously. Everyone knows how they feel about Mitch Marner. I think at this point, we know how Mitch Marner feels about playing there.
Can I throw out, like, are you sure that he's staying?
Yeah.
Like, is Matthews 100% good?
Yeah.
I'm not even saying from the team perspective. Does he want to fucking be there anymore? Like, the way that, let's be real, like, I'm not saying it's not warranted at all, but like, him and Mitch in particular have to be like, dude, why the fuck do we deal with this? Like, Marner, fans don't want him back. I don't think he wants to be back at this point. Like, I think it's clear, like, he's just done with this shit. And him and Matthews are best friends. Like, Matthews was already like, I don't think it was the best negotiation the first time around. You got to think there's a decent chance of him being a flight risk. Why not just trade him, literally bank on Nylander and Nyes being your horses to carry you moving forward, and you could get a pretty reasonable return for a guy like Matthews. Like, it's not as fun anymore to say because the team relocated. But dude, a trade involving Logan Cooley going to the Leafs could change all the vibes, just putting him and Nyes back together.
Oh, I think that would be
Cooley plus, but dude. And then guess what? Mitchie boy signs as a free agent to Utah. Everything comes together. They finally got their quiet market. They're successful there. And dude, you got gamers and guys that give a fuck in Toronto. I think everyone wins in that scenario. Of course, I'd have to think a little bit more about what else goes in with Cooley in that trade to bring Matthews over to Utah. But tell me that doesn't sound fun for both sides.
I'm not there with Matthews at all. Like,
I'm saying if he's like fed up and just doesn't want to be part of it anymore.
Yeah, if he says that, then
like, it's just like we're talking about with Kaprizov. We don't want to trade Kaprizov, but if we don't have a contract sometime in July, people are probably going to shit their pants back. All right, what are we trading him for?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, the end of the day, like, all this comes down to it's the mix, dude. Like, it just doesn't work. It's not gonna work. Like, and they're good enough, like, as players individually, they can play anywhere and win, but not there. Like, they're not together. That is what they have going. It does not work. It cannot handle that. The whole situation there is insane to me. It's just like, again, it doesn't even feel like, I mean, because they haven't really made any progress whatsoever. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, it was funny. I was listening to the guys that do their, like, the Sportsnet live stream post game or whatever every game, like the whole year and playoffs. And they were just like, we're back to the point that we're getting the texts after games that we were getting from, like, rival fans 10 years ago when everything was terrible. And it's like, you deserve better than this. This is insane. And it's like, they're not even being mean anymore. They're just like, people feel bad for us. It is, the dude was just like, oh my God, we're back here again. This is fucking nuts. But it is unbelievable. And it's just like the fact that, I mean, honestly, the first period started the way that it did, but 10 minutes in, all of a sudden, like, they had pushback and they looked phenomenal for like 6 minutes. They evened up as far as the shots on goal. They had a couple of breakaways. Unfortunately, it's like Holmberg and Lawton, but they had the push. Bob, by the way, what a performance, specifically the first period, just with his poke checks. I always forget how active he is in the crease with that stick. Like, Fleury loves doing the poke checks on, like, the breakaways. Bob is like a third D-man with this, just like with pucks across the crease or just like outside. Like, he is ready to go. The active stick. It is unbelievable. Like, he did it 3 times in the first period. But then, of course, the one penalty in the game is the too many men, which was unbelievable. And it was a phenomenal kill. And that barn was rocking at the end of the first period, despite how the first 10 minutes went. Despite the fact that, like, at no point, other than maybe 5 or 6 minutes of the first period, they had a sniff of net. But, like, they showed punchback, or they had a really, really good PK. They're getting a couple saves. The energy's there for the penalty kill. And then obviously there's like 6x left of the period. And that barn is rocking. It's loud. The fans are into it. And this is the thing that I've actually come around on. Like, we always shit on Toronto about, like, the building, whatever. Yeah, no shit, they're fucking quiet at times. Like, what the fuck are they supposed to do? And the market thing too, like, yeah, it's the biggest fucking hockey market in the world, yes.
But you know what?
But I also, like, I was listening to Justin Moore talk about this, like, when he was working with the Marlies in the AHL, they didn't have any young guys, any rookies. Like, they did zero media. They sheltered them from the media at all times. Like, they have been just, like, coddled along. And, like, they don't do any, like, radio hits in Toronto. Like, I think most markets, like, guys will go on and do, like, a random segment on, like, a radio. Like, around here, like, Jake DeBrusk did it every week. He would go on, like, Toucher and Rich in the morning, which is, like, at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning. He's on the radio here in Boston. It's like once a week he would do that. Like, guys here on the radio doing hits with, like, WEEI. Fucking Tom Brady at one point was doing radio hits here. Like, it was, like, all of these in big markets, like, the athletes are there. And, like, they get nothing there. So, like, yeah, the meeting's gonna be all over you. Your answers have been consistently dog shit. And the result's been the same. And those people are paying thousands of dollars to go to that fucking hockey game. Yeah, they're gonna be pissed. Now, I'm not ever gonna be down with, like, throwing shit in the ice or whatever. But, like, yeah, the fans are gonna be pissed. Again, I'm not for throwing shit in the ice. I'm not for, like, flooding fucking Instagram. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, the social media shit is nuts. Like, that's, like, some of that stuff. Like, I'm never gonna give anyone a pass on that. But obviously, it's a fucking tough market on you. Of course it is. Why the fuck wouldn't it be? And the fact that it's just been this long, after every year, there was like, this has to be the year they blow it up. And it just never is. But this does feel like the actual breaking point where you have to do it. We'll see what happens with Brendan Shanahan. But it feels like this. I mean, they have to do it. Like, they can't possibly run it back again. It's like a fucking full decade of running it back. It's crazy.
No, there's no way. And talk about just it's his episode. We already said it, right? This is Brad Marchand's episode. Him in the post-game presser is just like masterclass magician, like Inception shit, where he's talking about like, imagine if they were in a different market. Like, how do you expect these players to perform? Like, this is a different team. Run it back. It's like, you fucking asshole. Like, I think just trying to coax him into it.
Yeah, first of all, Marchand but that third line, I mean, that's the line that the Florida Panthers have now used the most at even strength, both in the first and second series of the playoffs so far. He leads in this series. He finishes with the most points. Lundell and Luosterainen have like the second and fourth most points. Like, just an incredible combination of players where they like are just relentless. And he looked like he was fucking 28 again. The amount of times he was flying around the offensive zone, getting loose pucks, winning board battles. Like, at one point he went like behind fucking Joseph Wall through his crease to get a loose puck. And he was doing whatever the fuck he wanted out there. Of course, it's him putting the fucking 6-1 empty net goal in. Also adds 2 assists. Like, he was unbelievable. I don't think he lost a single shift last night. Like, every time those 3 players were on the ice, they were making something happen. And it's just an incredible trio. But and then, of course, in the post game, he says what he says. There's always going to be a piece of him that's doing that shit and like just twisting the knife. He is also like, I actually do believe more than anything, he is like an NHL PA, like players first guy at all times. Like, he will go to the mat, even if it's just like it's the shit where it's like, look at me, Steve Garbage stealing TVs. Then that's not me. That's like his shit with anything going on in the NHL. Like, I remember 2 years ago in the playoffs, Matthew Tkachuk was on a hot mic saying something horrific about Thomas Nosek, which was like, it was the thing where it's like, oh fuck, that's actually what we always hear players say, like, that we don't go there with our like shit talking. And like, they asked Marchand about it. He's like, I think what's disrespectful is having those fucking mics around all the time. Like, he didn't even touch the subject. He's like, I don't know what he said. Well, who cares? But like, that's an invasion of privacy. So you guys, like, the fucking hot mics being on all the time, like, you're supposed to turn them off. Like, we're told that we turn them off. Like that was where he left it. Like he is just like the ultimate player's first guy in general, but there is obviously a part of it that's also just like, please keep this together.
Now,
Keep it going, run it back.
The counter here, I have to tee this up for you because he deserves it at this point. Our boy, Zach, he said he is convinced that Brad Marchand wants to play for the Leafs and will sign with them. They are his favorite team.
Do you know how, like, I wonder what they would do. Like, imagine that fan base be like, this is abuse. This is actual spousal abuse. Like, this is insane. Like, this is not cool. I mean, like, hell yeah, but like they would see him at a Leafs jersey the first time and they would get goosebumps, be like, oh my God, PTSD. He's the first player to ever be 5-0 in playoff series against one team. He's the only player in NHL history who has ever beat the same team 5 times in a playoff series. It's insane. He also has the second most playoff goals against the Leafs in NHL history. Gordie Howe has the first, and he played till he was 700 years old. There was like 4 teams in the fucking league. It is insane. Oh, he was just. I hate how well he fits in Florida. I'm happy for him, but it also makes me sick because it's Florida. But just an incredible performance for all 7 games from him and his line mates, though.
Would you move here instantly if the Wild signed him?
I'm on my way. Can you imagine? That would be great. Yeah, I would love it. It'd be great. Would love that for me personally.
Now let's go to the Mitch stuff, right? I want to brainstorm here and come up with the 5 most fun landing places for him. Like, what would be the funniest? And is the number 1 option Toronto?
Oh yeah, that's easy first as far as like funny landing spots go.
Yeah,
that would be great.
All right, what are the other ones that are big for you? Because I feel like there's 2 that are pretty obvious, but I'm kind of curious where your head's at before I muddy the water.
Yeah, I mean, especially given how the deadline went, I think everyone's bandied about the Carolina thing forever.
That'd be very funny.
Man, if he ended up signing there after saying no to that trade, holy shit, if he really wanted to piss that fan base off even more, my God, that would do it. That's one way to do it for sure. Certainly, like, I don't know about funny, but that easily takes the cake.
No, Carolina is the one that I would actually put above Toronto. For me, It goes Carolina, then Toronto, just because of how pissed people already are that he like exercised his rights to not be traded. I still think Boston has to be on the list.
That was, I mean, like anyone that's beat Toronto in the playoffs.
Pittsburgh is probably on the list too, just because of the whole like Dubas connection.
Yep.
And because Dubas will probably be offer sheeting nice.
I mean, I don't know. We've thrown out before like the Utah thing.
But that's not funny. That's just like very practical, right?
Yeah. I mean, realistically, again, like I don't even know how many more like quote unquote funny teams there would be for him to go to. Unless you want to throw like the Islanders out there, like the very just not fun hockey.
Him and Tavares both go back to the island.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, there you go.
That could be fun. I mean, you gotta think that either Ottawa or Montreal could be very funny too, just because of the hate.
Mm-hmm.
It'll never happen, but Buffalo would be extremely funny.
It'd be very fun.
But that one just doesn't feel real. Detroit could be pretty interesting, being right there in close proximity. And like there's absolutely a fit and a need.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's probably as far as like the funny goes. Although, can you ever rule out Vegas?
No, Vegas for whatever reason is just going to be, well, not for whatever reason. They always are
because they exist.
Vegas players, yeah. Like they're always going to be in there. And if you want, well, Mr. Pebble just said, if you want to throw another like terrible market for him to go to just because how crazy is Vancouver would be very funny. Throw him on a line with PD. Did actually probably cook, to be honest with you.
That would be a lot of fun, actually. So what are we saying? Like Carolina, Toronto. I gotta think Boston's number 3. Then I don't know. Is it Ottawa and Montreal or kind of no? I still think Vegas is.
What if you ended up in Florida and then won 11 cups?
Florida on a discount would be very funny. Or like him and Bennett just switch places. Florida, Vegas.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Again, like as far as funny goes, we've probably. Yeah, anywhere with Dubas, I guess. Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Carolina, Toronto, Boston, Pittsburgh, Florida, Vegas. What's funnier, Ottawa or Montreal? Probably Ottawa.
Yeah, for now. Yeah, probably.
I think 8 teams is enough. We'll make a graphic or something. Anything else? I mean, again, this is like a way happier day for you than me. Like I was just kind of sitting back and ready for exactly what happened. I didn't think it would be nearly as bad as it was, especially after the first period. Like, granted, they had to withstand a barrage from Florida, but they actually looked okay at the end of the period. And coming into the second, I'm like, shit, maybe they are going to like wake up and all of a sudden snap out of it. And then bam, 3 goals in 6 minutes. I'm like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, we should talk more about this game just in general, just for a little bit here, because like you said, first period again couldn't have started worse. But even when you look at the chances that they had given up before they registered a single fucking shot attempt, like for the most part, those were shots from outside. Florida doing what Florida does, keeping it simple, fucking like throwing pucks deep, mucking it up, like throwing pucks on net from outside. Again, like Wall was looking good that first period. And like there wasn't a ton as far as like giving up chances to the interior. They like turned a few pucks over in their own end, which like Florida just forces you to do that anyways. But coming out of the first period, again, the fact that that building was as loud as it was, the fact that like PK was as good as it was, and as far as shots on net, they were right there. Like, they were like down 1 or 2 after such an insane start. Like there was no fucking excuse for them to start that second period the way they did. And like I saw someone be like, you know, you have to wonder if like the whole thing with, by the way, shout out Chris Rooney, hope he's doing all right, Boston guy, Chica, takes that Mikla stick to that. Looked, I was very nervous for like a good couple minutes there, because like it was before he even like put his hand up to his eye to like feel it, like you like blood was already pouring out of his fucking face. And then the camera goes to him. There's blood on the boards. It's all over the ice. It's seeping through his fingers. He takes that Mikla blade thing just underneath his fucking eye. That looked like a Pronger fucking Berard absolute travesty for a second there. But the fact that he like didn't immediately like sprint off the ice, I was like, all right, it shouldn't be like a like ideally it's just like taking a whatever the blade to the face. It sucks. But I thought someone being like, maybe that interrupted something. I'm like, first of all, interrupted fucking what? Also, did it not interrupt Florida? Like it was Mikola's stick that did it. You'd think he would feel bad if we're going to talk about like interruptions to like flow of hockey or whatever. But just the way that the collapse was immediate. I mean, the second 1 goal went in, the game was pretty much over. It was crazy. Like I just don't understand the passengers. They're hungrier than us. It's like, how are you still here saying the same thing that we hear almost every fucking playoff series? And I mean, at this point, like everyone knows this about Toronto. Like there's honestly like not even a whole lot more you can say about them. I still go back to Florida and the job that Paul Maurice has done, the combinations he's found as far as like the defenseman, like being able to. Seth Jones looked like a first overall pick, Seth Jones version last night. What did he play, like 28 fucking minutes? He was everywhere. He had another goal disallowed, which whatever. He was a fucking monster last night. It was incredible to watch. It was like, oh shit, that whenever like we were talking about, oh, is he a Norris Trophy guy? I was like, oh, that's the shit that we remembered there. He was incredible last night, but I actually like the one thing that finally made it like click for me. It was either after the game or leading up to Game 7. They asked someone asked Paul Reese like what it was that like makes them so hard to play against, and he was like, when the foundation of your game is as simple as it is for us, the rest we could sort out. But we skate hard, we hit everything that fucking moves. We keep it simple. Like it's just like we move our feet, we hit. Like the rest of it, like we'll figure out the line combos. We attack downhill. It's just like it's a very simple game, and we have every single guy in that lineup that buys it. And it makes sense when you look at like who's leading the scoring this series against Toronto. Not Matthew Tkachuk. Matthew Tkachuk looks like he's playing at like 40%.
Well, it's because he is.
Literally is. Like,
yeah,
Barkov didn't light up the score sheet. Sam Bennett had a couple games where he scored. Reinhardt had a couple big goals, but it was that third line. AJ Greer gets a goal. Gadjevich has a couple goals. Like, it's the depth, and their defensemen are scoring. The other night, that fucking Game 5, I think 5 of their 60 had points, at least 1 point. Like, they keep it simple. It's just like when the foundation of their game, like their style is that it's that easy. The rest they can sort out. I was like, oh, that actually just makes it. I don't even know why it was taken. Like, how are they doing this? It's like, well, we just fucking like throw the puck and hit people, skate hard, and like everyone buys it. And then you just happen to have special players like Barkov, Tkachuk, Reinhardt, who's ridiculous. But he is fucking unbelievable. I mean, even Evan Rodriguez has been pretty quiet. He was hurt at some point this year too. That play that he makes to hit Jones on that pass on that first goal, that's a fucking great play along the wall. That's another thing too. They're unfucking believable on the half wall, like every fucking player. But it's like they make everything simple, and it works. I mean, they've won what? How many of their last bunch of playoff series? Like they're fucking insane. Like they're just kicking the shit out of everybody. It's unbelievable.
Well, and the thing you led in with, which like we're famously wrong about plenty of things, but you and I couldn't have been louder about how incredible of a hire it was for them to bring in Paul Maurice, and so many people online were bashing it. Like it made no sense to me. He's done more than I even expected, but he is just like proving that he's got to be like in the past decade, even 2 decades, he's got to be a top 3 or 5 coach.
Mm-hmm. It's just
and even with the pressers, right? Like he handles the media basically as well as Marchand does. Like those two are quite the duo.
Oh, I'm sure they're like buddies, dude. Because I mean, like even fucking in the pressers, like Marius would be like, yeah, no one chirps in this fucking league anymore. But like that's why we got Marshy. So at least we have one guy that still does it pretty good. So it was like you have half of your fucking roster is a bunch of lunatics. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
Kachuk's right there with him too.
Fuck you. But I mean, I like, and again, like just looking at how we thought the playoffs were going to go. I mean, my bracket was a joke after like it literally took my bracket like 3 or 4 days, but like before any of the series even ended in that first round. Mine, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go over, just like my fucking Frozen 4 college hockey, but it was insane too.
Yeah, that was a weird one this year for sure. Mateo, bring back up the Maple Goose Berube piece, because I'm with you, man, but Berube's not going to be around long enough to even like see any of the draft picks come to fruition. I hope he's heavily involved in free agency and the kind of guys they bring in. What maybe it's free agency, maybe it's trade, whatever. But Berube, that's a guy who's like a good coach, and like he has the awakening now of like, oh shit, yeah, these guys are head fucked. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and here that's the other thing too. It's like the one really good thing that Berube's been able to do that like I think played a part in them winning the division finally, earning home ice as far as like the Eastern Conference goes, anyways. And like having success in that first round, not panicking, whatever. He is unbelievably calm behind the bench and in the media. Like he's not someone that like really does actually, as far as like when the camera's on him or if when he's doing a press, doesn't like really blow a gasket. And last night he fully snapped. Like in that second period, he lost his fucking mind. And it's just like he broke. Like that game broke him. That game broke his fucking brain last night to the point where he lost it on the bench. And it's just like, it is mind-boggling that after this many fucking seasons, you still have to like yell "wake up" at your fucking team in an elimination game with it all on the line. It really is unbelievable. And I mean, it also makes you think, what if they had it go their way in that game 3? Because I mean, they go up 2-0 real early, couple bad goals. Nice hits the post, I think, in that one, in the crossbar. And then the goal that Marchand scored in OT in game 3, like it took a
You're just
deflection
saying
on the
that
way.
because it would be
Well,
like
no, it's
next
just like,
level wet dream for you for them to lose a 3-0 lead in the series
that'd be great.
and get beat.
Again,
Reverse sweep.
I got actually like I slowly just became more annoyed with it now. Like I wasn't even at the point where I was actually like really like, it wasn't like enjoying it. Like it's always gonna be funny. But it like even just watching, like you can't even like a 3-2 overtime. Like, I mean, that would probably suck hard. Like it was a dog shit game.
Bad.
And I really thought we were gonna get like after that first period, I was like, oh, like this one has the makings of like an OT late third period winner. But like it was just a fucking, just watching it unfold was incredible.
For you though, being the sicko that just like is living off of Leaf sadness, do you enjoy more that they got absolutely pummeled in this game, or do you wish that it had been like a tighter game, close loss? Mitch looks good, so that like all summer they're like, shit, do we bring him back? Do we not?
I actually didn't enjoy, like I did not.
I don't believe you.
I'm not kidding. It got to the point where I was so annoyed that I was like, you know what? Again, I am not a throw shit on the ice guy ever. Like I think that's like that's despicable. By the way, did you have the TNT broadcast on? Did you hear Edzo? He was like, so Edzo color commentary last night when like the fans started throwing jerseys on the ice in the middle of the play, seemingly to actually get in the fucking way. Edzo goes, oh, now we have fans. That is so dangerous. They ought to take that fan and have a conversation in the bowels of the arena. No words. And I was like, oh, he wants to kill him. I was like, he was so angry. It was unbelievable. I was like, holy shit.
That fan should sleep with the fishes.
It was insane. He wanted to kill the guy.
That's pretty wow.
But honestly, like it was actually just annoying to watch. And maybe it's just because they have that sweet child, Brandon Carlo, who took a puck to the butthole, which was unbelievable.
The cornhole save was quite something.
Like the placement was, but it was just
who did it better, him or Zuccarello?
Well, no, definitely Carlo. Poor Zuki. Jesus. But I again, like I actually was just like, it's like it was pathetic. It was annoying to watch. I don't know if it was just because I really was hoping for like a really, really competitive close hockey game, but I don't know, man. The fact that Florida can do that without like having Barkov, Reinhart, Kachuk, Bennett, any of those big dogs really take over, it's terrifying. Like they have four forward lines that know their role. Everyone has a role. Everyone plays a part. They just keep it simple and they get it done. It's crazy.